tere tulemast kuulama või vaatama Miks mitte podcasti järjekordset episoodi. Täna on natukene teistsugune episood. Esiteks ei ole täna Brendat ja teiseks on tänane episood inglise keeles, ehk siis meile tuleb külla minu hea sõber Tiziano, kes on itaallane ja kes on üpris sarnasel teel hetkel nagu meie, ehk siis ta teeb sponsorviisat, ta on ametilt winemaker ja räägime siis tema loost, kuidas ta siia sattus, räägime sellest, kuidas tulla Austraaliasse ilma inglise keeleta ja kõike muud huvitavat, mis tema teel on juhtunud, nii et head kuulamist teile. Welcome to a very special episode of the Mitte podcast. Today I have here with me not beautiful blonde Brenda,
sorry,
but a very different looking man. So it's our good friend Tiziano, who is from Italy. He works as a winemaker here in the same town that me and Brenda live in, and we met about a year ago now. So I thought he's a very interesting man, and I thought it would be very interesting for you guys to listen how he came to Australia, what he's seen in this country, and just wanted to share that with you. Hello, Tiziano.
Hi, hello, Hans. Thank to say that I'm interesting.
I think you're very interesting.
Yeah, right. Cool. Thank you. Yeah.
So obviously we're in Australia, and you're Italian.
Yes, I'm Italian. I came from Abruzzo, a small town in the middle of Italy, but it's on the coast. So we have sea, beautiful place where to be, a beautiful place to see over there as well.
And that's what, 2 hours from Rome, was it roughly?
Let's say with the Italian foot on the accelerator, yes, it's 2 hours from Rome, but on the highway, if you should respect the limits, might be 2.5 hours.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And well, we'll just kind of get into it, and we'll learn more about you. But I think you've been in Australia now twice, right? 2 different times. Why did you at first? Where did the idea ever come from to come to Australia? And
Yeah, right. First time I came into Australia was in 2017, and I just come for an experience, experience as a winemaker, because it was just in 2016, I had my degree in winemaking, and I said, why do not take the advantage of to do 2 vintage in 1 year, just to, go ahead,
get more experience,
more experience in less time. And so at the start, it was just an experience because I was unexperienced.
Yep.
So I decided to do something like this, and I never thought the Australian somehow it could have become like my first home right now.
Yeah.
So what happened was that I applied through a working holiday visa. So I came to Australia with a working holiday visa in 2017. It was in January, right before vintage. And thanks to the winery where I was working in Italy in that moment, they put me in contact with the person that right now I consider to be my Australian dad.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And he's such a great person. And thanks to him, I found a job in Griffith, actually. So where we live right now. I started to work in this winery as for an experience for just the vintage time. Hasn't been a great vintage, so it was a really short kind of vintage, just a couple of months. So taking, say, about 60 days. Working 60 working days, or even less, a bit less probably, yes. And for this reason, I haven't renewed my working holiday visa.
Okay, so after you finished the 60 days of work, you went back to Italy?
I went actually to travel a little bit around Australia. I got the time to travel around Australia with the money that I earned, and I saw beautiful places, and this is something else that since that moment left in my mind.
Yeah.
And I always has a memory, and I always decide to, probably inside me, it was starting to grow up something related to Australia. But again, I was still young, still inexperienced. I didn't know what the world had to offer me in Italy. So I said, all right, this is just an experience. Australia is just an experience.
It was just a fun little stopgap, little something fun to do. And if I remember correctly, when you came to Australia, it was pretty much hello, goodbye, and that was pretty much it with your English?
Yes.
Like it was hello, thank you, goodbye, and that was pretty much it?
Yes, I'd say like this. I had probably different words, but I never put them together to do like a
full sentence.
a few real complete sentences.
Yeah.
It was more about that, my English. And look, right now it's still a bit tricky sometimes, especially at work, to get like the right combination in order to being understood from everyone.
Yeah. But
pretty good.
what would you say to someone who comes as well and doesn't have maybe the level of English that they think that maybe other people have? I do think that Australians, because they see so many travelers, so many backpackers, they're very used to it, that people have very different levels of English.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone really, thinks bad of it. But what would you recommend? Like, what helped you, or?
As an Australian, I should say, give it a crack, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, give it a crack. Just try, because here, especially in Australia, I really, really had the chance to notice how people are not here to judge you. They have a really good and somehow understanding of the fact that you coming from another place. This is not your main language, so they are very trying to be patient. They are patient actually, and trying to repeat even more than a time without considering you like a dumb if you do not understand what they are trying to explain you.
Yeah.
I remember when I came to Griffith again in 2022, and my English was pretty much the same or even worse, because at least when I was in 2017 I was speaking a little bit, but then between 2017 and 2022 I never spoke anymore in English.
Yeah.
So when I came back to Australia, I was looking I went to a shop looking for a mirror, and I was asking for this mirror, and the lady at the shop said, maybe you're looking for a mirror. What's mirror? Yeah, mirror. No, I'm looking for this. I show her a picture of the mirror. No, this is a mirror. I say, okay, if this is a mirror, then yes, this is step by step anyway, how I start to learn my Australian English here, but just by giving it a crack. So just by trying to speak with people without being ashamed of my English.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone. Yeah, that's what Australians like to see. Is that you just as you said, give it a crack. You actually put in the effort, and it doesn't matter if you say one word wrong or if you say it like not in the right order in the sentence. Like, as long as everyone understands, everyone is happy.
Yeah.
So I think I do agree with that. Just give it a crack. And so obviously, in 2017 you came. You already had your winemaker's education from Italy at that point, and then you came here just working in vintage as a cellar hand. Just as a cellar hand. And then you traveled around, and then you went back to Italy.
Yeah, straight away.
So was it just the memories that took you back to Australia? 5 years later, in 2022, you came back to Australia. Why was that? Or
I was basically because Europe situation, Italian situation, things, many things that kind of sort of
came together.
Quality of life in Italy, and I was remembering a little bit what was the kind of lifestyle in Australia as well.
Yeah,
and I can't hide the money factor anyway. As I take a good place.
We have very openly talked about on the podcast about the money difference, and it is a difference. It's a big difference.
Yeah, huge difference, which gives you the chance to live in a good way. I mean, you don't come here, you get rich without doing anything anyway. You have to deserve your pay slip, you have to deserve your money, you have to work hard, but at least you can afford to have a good life.
Yeah.
Compared maybe to Italy, where I was doing exactly same things, but struggling to reach the end of the month pretty much.
Yep.
So I would say that this is probably the main reason but also the kindness of people in Australia, which I start to appreciate a lot when I moved to Australia, because Italians are sometimes can be really hectic, cranky, the kind of lifestyle of Italy. So you don't have a lot of money, you struggle to get at the end of the month anyway. It makes you like a bit more
Defensive
angry,
and angry.
defensive against the life, against everything that happens to you every day. And so I'll say, you know what? I have to figure out what to do. So I try to, I talked to an immigration lawyer, see what was my road, my chance to come back to Australia. And actually, he suggests me to like integrate my skills as a winemaker, or anyway, like a wine experienced person, with hospitality section.
Okay.
To try to become like a sommelier. Or anyway, do like a hospitality school related to what it could have been in the future.
Or you can be the drink and beverage manager or something like that.
Exactly. Correct. So I say, well, if this is my only road, let's try, see what happens. Maybe I might like it, maybe I don't like it, but I never did before, I never worked in hospitality before, so see what happened. And so I came back to Australia then in 26th of March 2022.
So that's now 3 years ago.
Yes. And I gave myself some like objective for the first period of Australia. And among the objectives there were like learning English, so trying to be as much as possible like try to talk freely with people in my way, trying to understand more English, also thanks to the songs, because I really like music. So what I was trying to do, it was just like reading as much as possible like lyrics of songs in order to have like more words available
better
for
vocabulary,
me, vocabulary for me, for myself. And doing the English test, because at the same times I was always saying to everybody that if there would have been like a chance to go back to Australia, I would probably never go back to Italy again. So I was at the same time I was starting to work for my visa to go back to Australia, on my student visa. I was already anyway figured out what to do in order to be sponsorized or being in Australia in a permanent way. So the immigration lawyer gave me some things that I had to do, and among them there was this English test. So when you came to Australia and you have to undertake your English test, you might have two roads. Like you have this TAFE, more than two roads actually, because you might have the Oxford, the Cambridge test, the
IELTS,
not TAFE, IELTS, and
there's
PTE,
two or three more, that I know of as well.
Exactly. I decided to go for the PTE because it was probably the easiest for me, because it was just with a computer and there was no people in front of me ready to judge me, so I felt more like confident with it.
I remember because Brenda had a very similar road to you, as in not learning or not knowing that much English when we came to Australia. And I remember her when we kind of started going through the exercises, or what's expected. Like she got really panicked. Like she was like, I don't know how, I'm like, it's impossible. Like it was just so complex. Did you have any emotions like this? Like, how am I ever going to do this test? Like, this is where my Australian dream will end, because I will not be able to do this test.
I had it for a while. Yes, I had it. But PT, it's more like, it's kind of like same test every time. It changed, just the questions are different, but it's pretty much the title of the essay is different, but
but the structure is very
is
same.
always the same. Always the same. So the thing that you have to learn, especially when you do a PT, is how to
how to answer correctly,
how to handle the exam itself. It's not how to handle the question that you have during the exam. It's more about learn the structure of the test and trying to be smart, because it's also about be smart on that kind of test. and it's pretty much everything over there. Of course, you need to have your vocabulary. You need to know grammatic kind of things.
But you felt like that structure being always the same, that kind of helped you get through that test better.
Yeah, it's my strategy. Having the strategy. It's plenty anyway. If you go on YouTube, there's plenty of strategies to try to afford this,
to make it through the test. Yes. And well, obviously you're still here, so you did the test.
Yeah.
And that was only for us and Brenda, it was obviously a longer road before we had to do our test, because we did all the 3 or 4 years of working holiday visa, and then we did the test. For you, it was in your second stint and only 3-4 months in 2022 when you had to do the test.
Yeah.
It was pretty quick, right?
It was in August. It was right after my birthday.
So you came in March, and in August you already did the test, which is, I would say, knowing kind of these levels that they expect and everything, I would say that is a very, very impressive feat, that you actually passed the test.
Look, again, it's about strategy, that kind of test.
Mm-hmm.
So if people are thinking to do I should do my English test in order, I don't know if I can pass especially the IELTS, which is the most famous one, but at the same time it's also one of the hardest one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying the PT is easier, but at the same time, you might have strategy to figure out what you have to do during your exam. So I'm not talking about cheating, Don't get me wrong. As Italian,
nothing on the hand.
No, not dodgy Italian stuff. Nothing on the end. Nothing strange. No.
Yeah.
But at the same times, it can be easier.
Just increase your odds of passing the test.
Exactly. Yeah, I did it at my first try. It was right after my birthday, and. Well, another good thing that happened since I came to Australia was, for example, I quit smoking thanks to the test, because I say, all right, if I'm going to pass the test, there is nothing else that keep me in somehow with the adrenaline rush or with thoughts in the night that I can't sleep. So I said, if I'm going to pass this test, I'm going to quit also smoking. Even because here in Australia, if you're a smoker, you get seen in a very different way.
Yes, that is correct. Especially if you go to Europe or if you travel, especially Asia, smoking is still very normal. But here, if obviously where we are, I would say there's a little bit more smoking, just in rural area. But even in Griffith here, you walk the main street, you don't see anyone smoking.
No.
Zero, pretty much.
Pretty much zero. It's very hard to see someone smoking on the way, especially during the day.
Yeah.
I might understand if you see someone outside a restaurant, but still, it's very rare.
And in Italy,
everyone has a cigarette between the lips in every moment of their life. Probably even in the morning, take coffee. I was a heavy smoker. I used to smoke at least 20 cigarettes every day, at least. So first thing in the morning that I was doing was just taking my coffee, drinking my cigarette. Drinking my cigarette, smoking my... Okay.
Drinking your coffee, smoking a cigarette.
Yes, exactly. I don't remember anymore how to do it. That's
why. You have it all jumbled up, which is good.
Super good, and lovely.
And anyway, it is also obviously everywhere. It's a very big health problem, smoking, and we quit in Australia as well. But also in Australia, it's a very big financial thing as well, because a pack of cigarettes can be $30, $40, $50.
Yeah, I think I was speaking with one of the guys that work with me, which is a smoker, and he told me, right now it's $60. You can easily grab a packet of 30, because they sell a packet of 30 here in Australia. I didn't know, for $60. So it's pretty much $2 per cigarette.
$2 per cigarettes, and if you're smoking 20 a day, that's $40 a day
easily. Yeah.
So that's $300 a week. That's $15,000 a year just for smoking. So it can get very, very expensive in Australia. And which is, I think it's a good thing that a country kind of has taken that stance and taken that decision. We're not going to support this. I understand that in Asia and probably same as in Italy and maybe in Eastern Europe, it would be very hard, because in some ways it's cultural, it's just...
It's part of our culture. I think it's so, at least for us as Italian, again, this cigarette and coffee and cigarette is something that is like almost religious.
Yeah.
Once, if you're a smoker, if you have a coffee, you also have your cigarette at the same time. There's no way.
Yeah.
But I would say maybe here in Australia, people do not smoke as in Europe. But at the same time, they are more like drinkers than us, as European.
I think, well, we can't say that really for Estonia because Estonians are some mad drinkers. But how I would, in my comparison of Australia and Estonia, I think Estonians drink more, but like Estonians go and drink like Friday, Saturday, like you can't remember anything, blacked out, while Australians maybe have a drink or two every night. But not, they don't have this like big when they black out and have a lot of drinks.
All right.
I think.
Well, in Italy was pretty much same sort of things you were talking about for Estonia. So we were having that Friday night, Saturday was pretty
big nights.
Like effort, big nights, like effort, requiring a lot of efforts. But for the rest of the week, you probably haven't seen like a beer or anything else. Meanwhile, here, as soon as people finish to work, you might see like going straight to the pub, having a beer like 4:30 in the evening, even earlier or whatever. So it's something that is not usually in Italian like
culture.
Things to do.
So. No, definitely, it is very different. In Italy, are you allowed to drive if you had a drink or two? Because in Estonia it's zero.
Zero? Oh, no. In Italy you can. In Italy it says 0.5.
0.5.
So let's say a couple of beers.
You're still fine. That's the one bit that I really struggle with. Not that I have like a problem with alcohol or anything, but when I go back to Estonia, I'm like, I don't even want to drink that bad, but we're here with Brenda, we want to have a dinner. I just want to have a glass of red wine or something. And I'm, nope, nothing, zero. You have to have sparkling water. So
that's crazy.
That's the hard part. So coming back in 22, when you came back, you did the English test in August, and then you still wanted to find a job at a winery. That was your plan?
Look, it was like a situation of COVID still, so it was a little bit tricky going around. It was a little bit tricky. It was just, I was like probably the first or the second wave of people coming to Australia after COVID.
After COVID,
So the situation was like, yes, people were still looking for job, like employers were looking for employees.
Workers,
but at the same time, it was starting to get wild, the thing. And the school anyway was like something that was keeping me busy at the start. And at the same time, I was looking for a job. Coming to Australia, it's always like a big question mark, especially because we come from the other side of the world. We don't have too many connection over here, probably zero. So the first thing that I did was just going back where I had some connection with it. So I just came back here. I started to work for the same winery that I was working for in 2017. And I was lucky enough because my school was in Melbourne, but because it was still COVID time, the school was online. So I had to do my school, I had to do my homework, I had to do all the normal things of school, but I was lucky enough to I had the chance to be in Griffith, work from Griffith, earn some money, and at the same time do my school things.
And at that time, you were still allowed because it was COVID, and they wanted all the people to help and get the economy going again, because there were so many people on working holiday visas and just tourists that obviously weren't coming here or couldn't come here. I think they lifted the limit, because usually on student visa I think you're allowed to work like 24 hours a week only.
I think
and around that time they lifted that limit so all the students could work full time as well if they wanted to.
Definitely.
So that definitely helped you as well. And then when you went to the back to the winery, you were still working in the cellar?
Yes, I was working in the cellar over there because anyway it was again COVID time. Like it was March, so let's say it was already the end of the vintage, but was still vintage. So they needed really someone to work in the cellar. And at the same time, I need some work anyway. I was not complaining at all. Job is job, and I was lucky enough to work in what I know.
What
I knew I mean, what was my field anyway? So, yeah, it was a nice experience, like literally going back to the past because nothing was changed over there in the wine. No, there was a bit more tanks, for example, but still, again, it was like jumping straight in the past.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Same.
Yeah.
And hei, Puhkuse Hans siin, kohe jätkame jälle podcastiga, aga enne on mul sulle üks super lahe uudis rääkida. Kas sa oled kunagi mõelnud, sa tahaksid imelisi soulehe ehteid tellida, aga kuidagi see kaugelt Austraalias tellimine, tollid, mis asja, ei tea, keeruline, siis meil on sulle super uudis. See aasta me tuleme ise Eesti ja toome sulle ise ehted kohale. Ehk siis maikuus on sul võimalik 2 nädalase akna jooksul 12. mai kuni 25. mai tellida soulehe veebipoest soulehe.com endale ehteid ja koodiga Eesti 2025 on saatmiskulu kõigest 4 eurot sulle. Ehk siis kasuta see võimalus ära. Juulikuus tuleme Eesti ja siis jõuad ehted Eesti, aga tellimise aken on mais 2 nädalat, 12. mai kuni 25. mai. Ja kindlasti jälgi meid Instagramis ja soulehe.stuudiot Instagramis. See on see, kus sa saad teada kindlasti, kui see müük on laivis ja sa saad endale imelisid ehteid tellida kõigest 4 euro saatmiskuluga. But then you left Griffith, right?
Yeah, then I left Griffith because after, so let's say I started my school, at my course in at the start of April. And then I realized around August that probably maybe hospitality was not for me.
Yep.
I tried to do something even here with restaurants, but let's say hospitality was not like
not for you.
Not for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I tried. So I gave it a crack again, and I decided to look for a sponsorship at that point because I knew that my time with a student visa was only for 1.5 years. So 2 years.
Yep.
So I say I need to figure out what to do because going back to Italy was not an option at that time, and it's still not really an option today after 3 years pretty much. And I was very happy to work in wineries anyway, in the wine industry. So especially working in a different environment compared to the one that could have been the one of Griffith or the one of Italy. I was super happy to try something different. So once I was working this winery here in Griffith, and I was loading a truck, and I asked to this truck driver, do you know any wineries around Australia? Because of course, do you have a list of wineries or something that can help me to look for wineries? And he gave me a book big like this, thick like this.
Just full of wineries.
Just full of wineries, name with contact and emails. So what I did, I just took a picture of all the pages. I went home, I put them all on Excel paperwork, and I start to message singularly all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know many wineries. Even today, if I try to digit like a couple of letters in the search bar of my email, it comes out like some strange wineries. Somewhere in Australia. Just because I was looking.
But that's, again, what we say, obviously, if someone's looking for a sponsorship, that's an option as well. But that's what we say to people, what you should do when you first come to Australia and you're just trying to find some work. You just have to send these thousands and thousands of messages out. And it's just a numbers game, you don't have contacts here at the moment. And that's how you build them. You just message a lot of people. And it sometimes, I don't know how for you as an Italian, but for us Estonians, sometimes it doesn't come naturally to us to like speak to strangers and try to introduce yourself. So I don't know, how did you find it, calling just randomly everyone?
I'm not that kind of person. Honestly, I'm pretty much same. I prefer to do not ask and try to figure out what to do. But there is a point where you have to ask, otherwise you can't get it through just by yourself.
And at this stage, obviously, because you were going for a sponsorship, you did, because as we've talked before, you can't really get a sponsorship. Well, you can. There's a lot of ways to get a sponsorship, but the easiest way is if you have an education and experience in a certain field, and there's lists of things that you can do. And obviously, because of that reason, you were now looking for a position as a winemaker, not just as a cellar hand.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I was looking as a position as winemaker,
Mm-hmm.
and
Which you worked as in Italy as well.
yes,
Yeah.
Also because in order to obtain like the certification as a winemaker here in Australia, you need to prove through Vestluses, I think it was.
It's like the government body that does the
Yeah.
assessment of your skills.
Yeah, exactly. I had to do like a skill assessment where I had to recall all my. I had to write down all my employer phone number, email, name of the company, name of the business, and they. I think what they did, they just called them and asked if it was real that I was working there. They asked to me as a reference letter from my previous employers.
Yep.
So I also got them. So it was like tricky situation a little bit because still in Italy, especially some employers still in the old way. So I'm saying still hard to reach them out through emails.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's been a bit tricky. Also that part, it took me a while, but anyway, I did this thing. I received after 6 months the Vestluses paperwork, which was saying yes, you work as a winemaker. And once you have your English test, once you have your paperwork from this body of the government, you just have to pretty much look for your job.
Yeah, find a company that's willing to sponsor you.
Yeah, exactly. Because sponsorship, it's anyway has the price.
Yep.
And not every wineries can pay the price, of course. And they need to give you a certain amount of money, at least.
Yep. I think at the moment it's like $76,000 a year is the minimum that they're allowed to pay you.
I think it's based on the business, but pretty much should be around 73 to 76 minimum.
Yeah, that's the minimum minimum salary that you're allowed to pay.
So it's it's very
it's not the easiest thing to find.
It's not easy for anyone.
Yeah, and especially it's not easy when you're like, obviously it's a lot easier if you have that previous connection, as for example, like I did, I worked in the company for about a year before we really kicked off the sponsorship process. They knew me, they knew what they were kind of getting into. But if someone, because the sponsorship costs for the company as well, like maybe $10,000-$20,000, someone emails you and you don't even know them. I would imagine it's a hard thing to find. But you did find, you got a little bit lucky. Yes and no.
Yes, I've been super lucky in more than one occasion. So what I did at the end, so I sent all this email, yada, and I received a couple of offers. One was from the Riverland. I don't know if you ever heard about Riverland. Riverland is in South Australia, but it's like the house of the devil.
Okay.
So it's in the middle of nowhere. It's like literally desert. It's not too far away from Mildura. But at the same time, it's not too far away from Adelaide. It should be like 3 hours and a half, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
But over there is nothing. It's super hot. There is nothing that you can really do over there.
Yeah.
You just work, you just go home.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
And it's super hot over
there.
Yeah. And the other offers that I had, it was in Barossa Valley. And Barossa Valley it is actually one of the best spots in Australia to make wine, where the grapes are made. Yeah,
probably the best, or at least the most popular and well-known Australian wine regions, I would say. Even in the worldwide, when people know some sort of wine region in Australia, it's usually Barossa.
Yeah, it's for sure is in the top three because we have anyway McLaren Vale, which is anyway South Australia, and Barossa Valley, and then we have Margaret River. I think
those would be the top three.
The top three of whatever. There are plenty of beautiful region of wine here in Australia, but they are top three, definitely. Yes.
Yeah. So you ended up going to Barossa Valley?
Ended up to go there to Barossa Valley, and I finished in this probably the smallest winery where I have ever worked. And it has been an amazing experience over there. But because the winery was too small, I didn't have the chance to be sponsorized.
Yeah.
Even if the company was doing the right numbers, and even if the company was doing, was producing really fine wine, everything was in the perfect spot.
Yeah, it just didn't work out.
It just didn't work out because of the government rules, of course. Government numbers, pretty much. So, well, I say them, it was right before vintage, and I say them, all right, I will keep doing a vintage here in Barossa, but probably not with you, but just for the reason that I was full time over there. Pretty much. So being full time, anyway, your salary when you work like that 12, 13, 14 hours per day, 7 days and 7 is not so good. You don't work as a casual.
Which
that's right. You get paid by hour. So I say them, thank you very much for the option that you gave me, but I have to do something else right now because my time, I won't say it was running out, but
it was running out.
It was running out. And at the same time, if things was going like, okay, it's time to go back to Italy, at least I had like a little saving account.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Because Australia is the place where if you work hard, you actually deserve the money that you have.
Definitely.
So I went to work in this TWE, which is Treasury One Estate. Treasury One Estate is one of the biggest company in the world. And so they have like actually in the cellar, you move with a buggy and you move on the road, and the road has name, they have an address. So like Eagle Road. Oak Road,
So the tank would be like Eagle Road 17.
Oh, not really, no. They are just divided by farm numbers and letters, but at the same times, it was also because the truck drivers were driving inside the winery to go at the truck bay. Anyway, the first time they always need some directions, and they had stopped like in a normal city. It was like normal little city, actually. It has been one of the best experience of my life. People were amazing over there. Everyone was like incredibly good.
But there again, you just worked in the cellar to do the vintage.
Because it was just literally last second position. So I did not have the chance to do anything else than cellar and position, but literally had the chance to meet so many amazing people from Estonia, from everywhere in the world, and also just like locals, which I still have really good relationship with them. Anyway, at the end of the vintage, I decided to go back to Italy a little bit, stay with my family. And surprise, I had my ticket to go back to Italy the 28th of August. From Italy to Australia. And I decided to stay just a week longer in Italy just because I said, you know what?
Why not?
All right. What happened at the point? My visa was almost running out, but there was still the COVID visa. So what I decided to do was, okay, when I go back to Australia, I apply for the COVID visa. The only way to apply for the COVID visa is only if you are in the country and your visa is like 3 months before the
expiration
day. So I said, all right, I just extend Italy 1 extra week. In the meanwhile, there was the changeover of the government between with Albanese.
The new prime minister came in.
Prime minister came in, and straight away the first thing that he did is pretty much to remove COVID visa without any
He didn't remove it right away. First, I think it was you were getting it for 12 months. And actually that same year, I think me and Brenda got it for 12 months. I think we got our visa at like 9th of August. So like 1 month before. And then I think he pulled it down to like the maximum you could get was 6 months, and they would not take any new applications end of December, I think they said.
I think no, it was they did not take any new applications starting from September.
From September.
The 30th of September.
Okay.
So what happened? I was in Italy, and I was meant to go back to Australia from the 28th, so be in Australia the 30th. And pretty much, so Albanese, by the day to the night and the day again, they said stop COVID visa. And he just cancelled every COVID visa in less than 72 hours.
Yeah.
By the time I had the news, I didn't have the time to go back to Australia, because even physically talking about time,
Yeah.
it takes
It
too
takes
long.
it takes 30 hours or
Yeah.
40 hours.
30
just to
hours. I
get
mean,
to-
let's say the cheapest one, the fastest one, 24 hours.
yeah.
I didn't have the time to go
Yeah.
back to Australia, even because I was going further in the time.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
So it was even less time for me. So
Yeah.
I didn't have the chance to like go from a student visa to a COVID visa.
Yeah.
And
that
my
was your
world
plan.
just
Yeah.
fell on me.
And it's so funny to talk to people, especially people who haven't been in this kind of situation, how big of a part in everyday's lives, like Estonians, Italians, everyone who's coming here traveling, especially people who want to make this place their home, how much time you think about visas. It's just crazy. Like when me and Brenda got the sponsorship visa, I was just, yes, I was happy because, we are going on the path that we want to go and we want to get the residency and everything. But I was just happy that I don't have to think about a visa anymore. It was just years and years and years of every day thinking about, okay, when is this visa going to run out? What is my requirements here? What documents do I need? What do I need to put in? How much money will it cost? It's just every day, and it's nonstop. It's nonstop. So I understand your how your world might have just been crashing down. The house of cards just started tumbling down.
Yeah, all on me, all on my shoulder.
Yeah,
no, definitely. And that's true what you said. I mean, me too. Since the moment I arrived to Australia, and I said, all right, in a way or in another, if I want to be a sommelier working in the hospitality, if I want to be a winemaker, if I want to be whatever, I want to stay in Australia. I want to take Australian residency.
Yeah.
In a way or in another.
Yeah.
So, well, yes. And I was at the 26th of March 2022. I was thinking about the PR, how to get there, what kind of visa to do. So I felt like for a second I was becoming crazy. I was literally not thinking to anything else. And I would say there has been like a small part of my life where I was really like sad, really dark person, like not willing to laugh, not willing to do anything, just stay home, just trying to figure out what to do, see if I have enough money in case I can apply for the sponsorship. So I was like, let's say a good dark 6-7 months.
Really?
Yeah, which I was very, very like sad of everything because nothing was.
So because your visa ran out, you didn't end up coming back
to Australia?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
At the end of the August there, when you went home, and because they canceled the COVID visa, you didn't come back.
No, I came back. I came back because I had just 2 months left on my student visa. Because there was 2 months left, and I was thinking, okay, I will apply just right before my student visa finished, so I can have like these 3 extra months.
You
know what I mean?
Definitely.
So that's why I said, all right, I don't know what to do. I was literally crying. I'm not hiding behind like. You know, I was crying because all right, the dream is over. I just go back to Australia. I grab my things, go back to Italy. And nothing. I was crying. My dad come to me and say, look, you have 2 months left. You just go there, see what happens.
Give it a crack.
Right? No, not like this, but pretty much this is what he said. Yeah. Just take it day by day, see what happened. This is what he told me. I say, you know what? You're right. I don't have anything to lose anyway. So just let's try. Let's do what we can do. So I went back to South Australia, and from there I took a plane for Melbourne, if I'm not wrong. And then from there, thanks to my Australian dad, because he lives in Melbourne, we moved to Griffith because he has a business here in Griffith. So thanks to him, I came back to Griffith because it was my like safe spot, the place where I know someone already.
You have a little
my
bit
Australian
of
dad knows. Yeah, exactly. He has a lot of connection because he's related to the winemaking work. So he works with all the wineries anyway. So he tried to help me, but not too much luck because anyway, it was 2023, so already after 1.5 years of COVID, so things were getting already better. And
And at the end of the day, winemaker really isn't that sort of position as well that you have too many of in a winery. Even the bigger wineries, you only maybe have 3, 4, 5 winemakers. It's not a position where you have 10 of them, so it's not that easy to find, I would imagine.
Yeah. Even less. I think I work in the team where I'm the junior. I mean the youngest of the winemakers, and they work so many hours, for example, even compared to me. I mean, I work nothing compared to them. They are literally always at work.
Yeah.
Always at work. And so, as you say, it's just small teams. It's not like a job, which is like, you can have, I mean, of course you have skills, so you can work as in the lab as a laboratory technician, you can work as a cellarer, because you have different skill. As a winemaker, you are like structured as a person that knows what to do in several areas of the winemaking.
You have to be the Swiss Army knife.
Sort of, yeah. So yeah,
knows a little bit about
yeah.
everything that happens in the winery.
Of course, if you want to be a winemaker, you need to know everything about how to make wine, starting from how to do a transfer, how to use a pump, how to work in a lab to titrate your solution. So yeah, you need to. So I'm still learning, to be honest, under a point of view, because compared to the guys that work with me, to the people that work with me, they have so many years of experience, especially as a winemaker. Meanwhile, I had experience as a winemaker, of course, but way less compared to them, and I waste my time as well. Anyway, and now I work in a big company. Meanwhile, I always worked like in very small wineries. Like, for example, the one that I was working in Barossa, it was doing like 60,000 bottles per year, which is
60,000 bottles.
Which is
that's nothing.
This is not 60,000 bottles. You probably do like in a couple of days.
60,000 bottles is nothing.
Yeah. If you think about Casella is one of the biggest wineries as well. I think they are able to produce they have the fastest bottling line of the South Hemisphere. And if I'm not wrong, they can produce 36,000 bottles per day or per hour. 36,000 bottles per hour.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure.
That's
I'm not
crazy.
100% sure. I don't want to say any.
But the scale of Casella is massive as well. You have tanks that are 1 million liters, and it's just ridiculous.
But considering that in 2 hours they can produce what the winery where I was working, but also do in 1 year. Of course, a bottle in that winery was also $500. Some of the bottles. So
it's a different product.
We talk different things. Of course.
But So, but you did. Obviously, you're still here. This is not video call. You're not in Italy, so something must have worked out. So
I've been lucky again.
Yeah,
I've been lucky again, because it was just a Friday night here in Griffith, and that's funny. That's very funny. I was literally jumping from a pub to another pub.
Yeah.
It was just a Friday. And I just following what my dad said to me. What? Just enjoy the last few months that you have there. You probably can't go back there anymore. Just enjoy Australia and see what happened day after day. So I was jumping from a pub to another, pretty tipsy and happy. And I was on the last pub left before my home, going back home. So I was very happy. And all right, I was also tired. So I said, probably I don't have to get in this pub. I just probably walk straight.
I probably just
home.
go past this pub, go home.
Home. Anyway, I remember that I popped in front of this pub, which has like big glasses outside to see inside. And I saw someone that I knew, but someone that I haven't seen from 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
and this would have been 2023, right? So
2023.
6 years later. Yeah.
Yes, 2023.
Yeah.
I say no, probably just a bit drunk.
Yeah.
I should probably not. It should probably not. It shouldn't. Probably it's not her.
Yeah.
All right. So I say, and she, at the same time, she just looked at me like if we were calling each other. So, and I look at her like this, and she looked at me like, "What?" I say, "Kia." I say, "Yeah, tits, yes." oh my God, come here. And we start to hug, we start to talk. We say, oh, what are you doing here? What's happening? Why you're in Australia? Why you're in Griffith? What are you doing? I said, look, honestly, this is what happened. I was doing this, I was doing that. We had a beautiful chat, and I say at the end, because I was working, like I was looking for a position as web maker.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Because I think we're looking for a web maker as well. I say, what? Yeah. Look, today is Friday. I don't know what to do, but just give me your number, she told me.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave her my number, and on Monday I received a call from one of the owner of the company. I say, look, I spoke with Kia. Kia told me that you're looking for this, you're looking for a position as a web maker, we're looking for a web maker. Come to have a look, come to have a chat with us. So I say, wow, is this really happening? I say, all right. Anyway, I got to have this chat the day after, so it was Tuesday. And they told me, yeah, all right, we'll let you know. I said, all right, there you go. And so a couple of days after, they tried to look for someone else at the same time. I mean, to have like different options.
Yeah.
I think they
still hadn't finished like the contest for the position. Yeah.
They I think they want to like hear more voices, different people.
Yeah.
So I think they called me 1 week later and giving me the very nice like news.
Yeah.
So we're willing to give you the sponsorship. We don't know how to do it. We need a migration lawyer, and I put them in contact with my migration lawyer, which is amazing. They have been amazing.
Yep.
Like very, very prepared people. They haven't done anything wrong.
Yep.
Signs from the start, they always gave me every single information in the right way. Everything was clear, no surprises, no hidden costs or whatever else. So
same with our agent. We were really happy. Yeah. With our agent as well, So.
Yeah, cool. No, I think this is very important if you need to have like...
because it's such the system is built already kind of crooked, I would say. Like you have to, like for example, the assessment that you were saying before, where the government assess if you're okay to fill that position. So I had to do the same thing, and I think there was like two options. Like you either do the standard assessment, and then it's like 3 months or 6 months.
Yeah.
And then there's like a priority where you get it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we wanted the priority one to get it in 2 weeks. And then if I did it myself, I would just have tried to do priority, and it would have said, no, you can't. And then I probably would have done the normal one and then wait just 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my visa agent said, no, you have to just, every day there's like, let's say 30 or 40 spots. So my visa agent every morning at 7 a.m. was refreshing the page, trying to put my application in.
Yeah, right.
And every day she sent me a message. Okay, today I didn't get in again. I didn't get in, but I know like this is the quickest way. And by like day 5, she got my application into the priority line. Right. But if you don't know that there's every day there's 40 spots, and they go at like between 7:00 and 7:01. Yeah. How like there's so many things in the system that are just, if you don't live and breathe that thing every single day, you just can't know.
Yeah.
I and that didn't they, yes, you pay, like probably we paid our visa agent maybe $10,000 or 15, I don't know how many $1,000, a lot of $1,000. Yeah. But in my mind, it's like we're going to be in Australia for a minimum of maybe 4 or 5 years more. That's only like $2,000 a year. And if you stay here for the rest of your life, or another 20 years, then that's $500 a year, and like it's nothing at the grand scheme of things. So I do very well recommend as well getting a migration agent if that is a path that you're looking to go on.
I agree, and I think it's a way also to get rid of a lot of headache that you might have by yourself, because you are not very like in this kind of things. Yeah. So you might do something wrong. If you do something wrong, maybe Australian government wants to have more like information from you, and this just makes your time longer. Yeah. You might lose your option. You might lose your visa as well. So, this is what I say also to my friends when they ask me, oh, but what should I do? I can give them my opinion.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I always say them, look, at the end of the day, you should probably talk with an immigration lawyer which knows
Yeah.
everything in every single
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
possible.
that's right. That's right.
And
That's what we say as well.
yeah, and it's very important also, in my opinion, to get an immigration lawyer which comes from your country, because every single country has different rules.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know if you know, but for Italian, for example, you can get like a working holiday visa until you are 35 years old.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's right.
And for some other countries. but
Yeah, I
very
think it's like Canada and
few.
Ireland, and it's very few. And actually, I think Finland now will
really?
get it soon as well. Yeah, interestingly enough. So yeah, so yeah. But you got lucky.
I got
You're a
lucky,
lucky man.
Lucky
It's a
man.
good thing that you didn't go home that night.
Yeah.
It's the one
It
time
was
in
like-
every single time in your life, going to one more pub is always a wrong decision. That night, it was the right decision.
Yeah, definitely. Because look, literally, I mean, imagine this situation. We always say was part of our destiny. So
Yeah.
we worked together in 2017 here in Griffith, and she
And
was
she's Australian.
she's Aussie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Australian. She was born and she lives in Griffith.
Yep.
And she, at the time, she was a assistant. She's older than me.
Mm-hmm.
She was a junior winemaker at this winery, and I was there just a simple accelerant. And well, after how many years? We say
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
We catch up, both drunk in a pub. I was looking for a position as winemaker.
Yeah.
She had a position available. That's
Crazy.
destiny. This is something that you can't call it in any different way.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that was written in the destiny
Yeah.
already. Since 2017, okay, this is what's going to happen. And somehow.
Yeah.
I don't believe too much in like these kind of things, but
Yeah.
what do you
How
want?
else do you call it? Yeah.
How else? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't call it in any different way. So
No.
yeah, I had this
Absolutely crazy.
chat with them. Everything was okay. And yeah, I'm really thankful to them, to be
Yep.
honest, because they give me the chance to realize my dream. I'm super happy anyway that the team is such a good team.
Yeah.
It's good people willing to learn me things, because anyway, as I told you, compared to them, I don't have the same experience. And Aussie have time to explain you things. Aussie
yeah.
wants to explain you things. They are patient people, pretty much.
Yep.
And I came anyway from small winery experience. Small winery experience doesn't have the same equipment, doesn't make the wine the same way. So many different things that I didn't know how to manage. I'm still learning how to manage, because I'm still learning things over there.
Yeah.
So it's totally different experience of winemaking for me, which is growing up my personal baggage under the point of view.
Yeah.
And I can't complain at all, because it's like literally, something totally different, beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. No, I'm very happy for you as well. Although at this point yet, I did not know you when you went to work there and got the job as a winemaker. Me and Brenda just a couple of I think a month or two ago, we did a big episode, or actually it was 2 or 3 different episodes on vintage and winery and working in a winery and our stories of what we have gone through in wineries. And we went through all the positions. I don't know, weighbridge, crusher, presses, RDVs, everything, general work. But just very shortly, it doesn't have to be very long. What would you say a winemaker does?
Well, a winemaker is like a bit the person that has to take care of the process, starting from grapes. There are winemakers which, as we spoke before, winemakers need to have like skills under every point of view.
Yep.
So starting from the vineyards, because the vineyards is where you do the good wine.
Yeah,
Pretty much. The good wine came from vineyards.
Yeah.
Whatever comes after is just finding, is just trying to fix what you can, what you haven't been
It's
able
just
to achieve.
It's just fine tuning,
during
but
the
if you don't have
vineyards.
the good grape in the beginning, then you're just kind of trying to catch up, but you never will.
Your intervention, if you're going to get good grapes, the intervention of grapes will be minimal
Yeah.
at one stage, a wine stage. So anyway, you need to know about vineyards, you need to know the fruits. So it's something that I still don't know. I'm still learning because I come from another place on the coast. Instead now I'm like in the desert.
Yeah.
So grapes are different, varieties are different. Grapes react different to the sun. So you might need like to know the foliage. So how many leaves you need to have on the plants in order to have the right like ratio of leaves fruit. You need to know how many grapes you want on your plants, if you need to cut some of them because you're trying to achieve a better product, so you want all the nutrients go just in few grapes. Then after that you have all the cellar part, so where you actually crush the
juice
crush the grapes,
start making wine.
It's where exactly, so you need to know all the process. You need to know your yeast, the yeast that you want to use, because different yeast, there are million of different yeast that you can use. Based on the yeast that you use, you might achieve certain aromas, certain kind of things that you might not achieve with the same yeast on a different variety. Okay? So it's very, very selective. So you need to know, it's a lot of style, a lot of tries. You have to just try. You buy several like different yeast, maybe. You divide your grapes in different batches and you try. Just try. Just give it a crack, mate.
So in general, a winemaker is kind of the brain of the winery. Like they kind of guide the process. Obviously, there's a lot of people involved, but they would not always maybe say, the winemaker says, and this is how we do. But they kind of start the conversation and say where we should go with these products. And because even, if, let's say, even if you get, Cabernet Sauvignon, it doesn't, like all Cabernet Sauvignon doesn't taste the same.
Sure.
Even if there's so many different decisions to be made in the process. And that's usually what the winemakers do, right? They make those decisions.
It's taking decision in order to achieve the best result possible, pretty much. And the decision most of the time never take by yourself. There is always a team which you can talk with, compare different ideas, and then you arrive to a result. So it's never something that you decide by yourself. It's something that there is a teamwork behind all of this. And I won't say the winemaker is the chief, is the boss, is the person that decide everything, but the winemaker is the one that really works hard, as everyone in the cellar, for example, in order to do the best product possible. So, and using the best protection in some house. So I don't know if there are like always new different technologies in order to achieve the best results. So you might use like gas, like nitrogen, which doesn't mix with the juice, with the wine, in order to protect wine from oxidation, for example. There are many different ways that you can actually improve the things that you do in a winery. That before this winery I probably didn't know, because it was like literally not the chance to have the same equipment.
You wouldn't even have this machine because you're, for an example, in that other winery you're doing 60,000 bottles a year. You wouldn't just be able to afford, because some of these machines, we talk in the wineries, they're millions of dollars. Just one machine. So that's understandable. I'm still very happy for you, and well, all the people definitely want to know. So you drink a lot of wine every week, because
No, not really. I mean, since I came to Australia, yes, I'm not a smoker anymore, but I start to drink more than before. This is what I can say. I'm more a beer guy, especially during summer. So this is period of beers for the moment. I'm more like a red wine guy during the winter for the coldest nights. Might also I like white wines in summer. But
I'm coming back around. I didn't drink white wines in summertime for freaking years, and this summer I actually started. There was a couple of wines that you kind of introduced to us. I'm slowly getting back into whites, but I've been reds only for a couple of years now. your Australian dream was coming true. You were making wine. You got your visa. Everything was going up.
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the line, also a little Estonian entered your life.
Book.
Yeah, little book, as Tiziano said.
Yeah, no. Lovely book. No, anyway, just go back a second to what was my visa at the end. We didn't finish speak because at the end what happened was that I got your visa, so we start to speak. At the same time, I was like so paranoid that for maybe a number or maybe something off, I would not get the visa. But at the end, everything was right. Everything was okay. So it was like Christmas party of the... It was Christmas party 2023, which was in October, 26th of October, if I'm not wrong, 2023.
26th of October, you had Christmas party.
Yeah, don't ask why. Don't ask why. I was probably so... no, I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, that day, my immigration lawyer sent the application. No, November, sorry. 26th of November.
That makes a little bit more sense.
No. Yeah, so the 26th of November, he sent the application. Once the application went through, I received like an automatic email from the government about the health examination.
Yeah.
So I had to do this health examination in Wagga Wagga. I don't know if guys about this place. Very close. The closest place to Griffith, which is called
Wagga
Wagga.
Place.
Yeah. Bit weird name, but that was the closest like point where to do these health examinations. And I did mine around 8th of December. And one day I was going back home. One day, the 19th of December, I was going back home from work. And my phone just received an email. I was driving. I say, you know what? I'll see when I go back home.
Yeah. It doesn't... Not that important.
It's just an email. What's going to happen? And when I get home on my phone, I just went like this and saw like the notification of the email through the Australian migration border. I say, oh my God, this is something important. So I sit. I was alone. I was alone in the house, and I opened the email. I say, all right, I'll see what happened. In the worst scenario, I have to go home.
Yeah.
Because in
50-50.
50-50,
Yeah.
And it was written, granted. I say, no, I can't believe that.
No. I think that might be the most beautiful word in English language. Yeah. Granted.
Yes, it is. It's actually...
It's such a beautiful word. Yeah. I remember when I read those words. It's hits different.
They hit different when you see on that paperwork in that position with like that bold black. Yes, it still give me like goosebumps. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it was like, wow. So I just call family. I just say them, I have a beautiful news. Or probably a bad news.
Probably bad news for the family. Bad news I'm not coming back.
I'm not coming back for Christmas. The good news is, I got the visa.
Yeah.
So, and my family has always been really supportive to me.
That's good.
So I always felt like, a lot of... when I was in Italy, I never felt like a lot of like... to be close enough to my family because you have them there every day. You do not appreciate what you have every day in your life because it's over there. It's even if it's your family is over there. But when you start to travel, when you start to live away from your home, you start to realize the importance that family makes on your health, mental health, and how they are, especially if they are supportive to your choice, how good can be to you.
How they lift you up.
To lift you up in the worst moment. So it
was a happy day and a little bit sad day as well, maybe, but
exactly. I mean, but at the same time, I'm sure my family is so happy that I'm doing well here, and they would be more upset and more worried for me if I was right now. If I would have been in Italy with maybe my job, but underpaid job, struggling to arrive at the end of the month. So they are very, very more like happy family.
Yeah, that's right. Especially if they're so supportive. They want you get the best, what you want out of life. So that's definitely good to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a surreal feeling getting that email. And I remember when we got our email, the next morning, I wake up, I check my phone, and then I was like, I don't really know what to do here. Because then I realized, because we waited a long time, we waited like 5.5, 6 months for our visa.
Yeah, I remember.
I realized that every morning I had woken up and checked my emails to see if there's an email. And then that next morning, I take my phone and I'm like, I have nothing to search. Because I obviously didn't realize that before, but every morning I only opened the phone to find out if my email had come or not. So now it is a bit crazy. So yeah, coming back or forward, whatever way you want to look at it. Yeah, there's how we met, and there's an Estonian now in your life, very close to you.
Yeah, my partner, Evelyn.
Yep.
Evelyn, she's from Mariama.
Yep.
So yeah.
Actually, Tiziano has a very big, speaks almost Estonian as good as English.
Not yet, but we're getting there. We got few numbers, we got some words that we can't say, I think. Better do not say. But yeah, we got also some good stuff anyway. So I'm improving my Estonian. Every day I put like a couple of points to earn my not only Aussie passport, but also my Estonian passport.
Estonian passport as well. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So how long has it been now since you guys are together? A year and a half?
Yes.
Something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we start to date in January, right? January 2024. Yes.
Oh, okay.
January 2024.
Yep.
And and then we just keep dating since the moment we're still doing it.
It's still going good. Yeah.
Still going good.
Well,
so
we met you about a year and 1 month ago when you guys were already together, and it was kind of, I don't know, we have a lot of things that, we love good wine, we love good food, we love board games, we love a lot of the same things. We love being outdoor camping and a lot of the good time travel. So we kind of instantly connected, and especially with you being Italian, all the pizzas and pastas we absolutely love. So it wasn't hard to buy us. But how was it for you to, I don't know, obviously you had met Estonians before already as well. I think especially if you're a person working in a winery in Griffith, it's hard not to meet an Estonian because they're just everywhere.
Several couples in the last years working in the wineries.
Yeah. So what have you? I know it's a very very funny question, but what do you think about Estonians, or how do you see Estonians in general?
All right. So talking to Evelyn anyway, she always told me that anyway, Estonian in Estonia are very, very like very focused on their things, on their life. They're always rushing for their things. They don't have too much time to spend with you, especially, I don't know, if you want to have like a quick chat in the middle of the road. It doesn't happen very often. I think this is what she tried to, I don't know if, but I think this is, if I'm not wrong, this is how she's trying to describe it.
I think so. We are very...
what I've noticed is that instead all the people that I met here, all the Estonian that I met here in Australia, they are, most of them different. Some of them are still like that kind of, I work with few of them in the previous vintages and even this vintage. And I noticed maybe that some of the Estonian are really pretty straightforward for their things. Even if you try to speak with them, they are not too much interested in share
work and
things.
get it finished. And
maybe you go there, you try to speak a little bit, say, oh, cool, good job, and then maybe they go for their own anyway. Meanwhile, someone else is very, very open-minded, very, very funny. I mean, even with you, we clicked right away.
Oh yeah.
I remember you came. We met that day at the
At the markets.
At the market, and then we went away, and you came back to talk to me. And just to give me your number, just in case. Try to do something together. I said, yeah, all right, but I would never thought about this, just like this kind of friendship that we have now. So
it is. Sometimes it's crazy to think that it was only like a year and a month ago, and I think that's like sometimes what can happen in Australia as well. We don't have, obviously, a lot of great relationships can come from being here. You have your Australian dad, and we have kind of, me and Brenda have our Australian family that you've met now as well. And because you're such a long way away from your family, like we all are here, you can find these people that you click with, and because you don't have that support network around you, I think you can form very, very strong connections very quickly, because you're just alone here, so you need someone else as well. So I think sometimes it feels like I feel like I've known you for years and years and years now already, even though it's only been 1 year. So
no, I agree. It's definitely like this, and I think the more you get older, the more you get selective as well with the kind of people that you want. But this is the point where you really create this kind of like real friendship or real anyway, kind of, even with my partner anyway. I mean, she's lovely. We having best time of our life, even if we just stay home and cook something.
Absolutely.
It's probably the funniest thing that I did, but not because it's boring other part, but to do other things, but just because it's you get things that probably when you were younger you probably would not like notice.
Definitely.
Think about. No,
it's about the simple things in life, and righto. So we'll start wrapping up the podcast quickly now, but I've saved the 3 most important questions for last.
Yeah, right.
So my first question is which Estonian food do you like the most?
Right. So my favorite.
You've had a pretty wide array of Estonian foods, as far as I know. Like you've eaten a lot of different stuff now.
Right. Let's start first from the thing I didn't like really well. Currywurst.
Currywurst. Yeah, you did.
I think it's a bit. I tried, but it's not for me. It's not for me. Sorry, guys.
But you did try it, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think this is actually probably the only thing that I did not really enjoy about the Estonian food. I'm kind of country guy, so I love potatoes in every way possible, in the boiled, smashed, in the oven, whatever. So like there is this sort of minced meat in like this sauce. With
minced meat sauce with mashed potatoes.
Yes, exactly. That one is probably one of my favorite one. Just look up, probably my favorite one as well. There was a moment it was like a good month, where I was asking Evelyn every Saturday of the week, please, can you do just look for me? Please, can we do something like that? Because I would like really to have them. I was so in love. I'm still in love, but I think probably we need a break from just look now. I had so many of them.
But it's good as well, because shashlik is, that's a summer food.
Oh yeah, but I can have
them. So now it's a good time to have a break from it. So we go into winter.
And, but now I'm gonna go to Estonia in August. So I'm gonna have again shashlik.
You will. It'll be summer again. So that's actually a very good point. That leads to my second question. So you will go to Estonia for the first time in your life this year.
Yeah.
In August. What is something, I don't know, that you look forward to, or do you have like something that you really want to do in Estonia, or you're really excited for?
Yeah, all right. Honestly, when I have to go somewhere for the first time, I never do any plan. There is nothing that I want to check about it. I just want to go there and be like amused of everything that I see that I'm like. Of course, I Googled Estonia before. Of course, I see some beautiful things. And Vanatallinn. Probably the old side of Tallinn. It might be Vana is old in Estonia, no? Like the liquor as well. It's the same name. But I think it's very, very impressive.
Yeah,
I really like probably to go there as well. Evelyn always talk about the sauna.
Yeah, sauna.
It's something that I know because we also have them in Italy, but it's not something that you probably have in your house. It's something that you probably do once per year, couple of times per year, something just different from normal things. So I'm really forward to do it and see how it really works. A real sauna works.
Yeah.
Because I think our thing is just
80, 90, 100 degrees.
Yeah, I hope there still be like a live not boiled with the boil, like a very worst.
Yeah.
And probably there are things that I like to go, a place where I like to be, or probably Pärnu. I think Evelyn talked about that city very good to me.
So, definitely a very good city in the summertime.
I don't know if I'm gonna have time to go there, but for sure. And Tartu, anyway, it's capital city. No, it's not capital. It's the city anyway of the university.
It's
of the instruction.
It's like the capital of. The slogan of the city is it's a capital of good thoughts, and it's said to be the university capital of Estonia as well. With the university in Tartu is like over 400 years old now. So,
all right.
So very old university. So I hope that you come to Tartu as well, because I'll be in Estonia at the same time with you. So I'll definitely show you a couple of things as well. And then I just wanted to say it's been amazing having you here. Even I learned a lot of new stories as well that I haven't heard. Thanks for coming.
Thanks to have me, to invite me. Actually.
Yeah. And now I left the most important question. I left as last question.
Yeah.
Obviously, you are Italian. I am Estonian, and I'm sure everyone wants to know. What do you think about Tommy Cash and espresso macchiato?
There you go. All right. There are, as long as understood, because anyway, I'm living here in Australia, so I can't really
say for sure. Yeah.
Say for sure what's happening over there.
And now you're already almost like half of it Estonian as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I have to be careful what I say. Otherwise, when I go back, the boss just beat me up. Anyway, honestly, from what I understood, is there are like two different factions, like two different
camps or parties in
parties
Italy.
In Italy, so pro and against. I'm on the pro one, but not because I know you, not because the boss at home, but it's just more because I really enjoy. I mean, at the end, yes, you can speak about. I mean, there is nothing to hide. This is what we've been in the past. This is what we had in the past. This is what we still have today. So in a certain way, it's like if you want to hide, or in certain ways, like you trying to like say, no, that's not true. This is not what we are. We are not that. Not all of us are like mobster or whatever you want to say. They are there. They exist. And Tommy Cash just did that. Beautiful song about a beautiful song, not really beautiful song, but like super funny song. I mean, I really enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy it. So I'm on the pro side of the song. I really
you don't take it too serious.
Why should I? Like, don't take life so serious, guys. Just take it easy. Dad taught me that. Take it as it comes. It will be beautiful anyway. So right on. But going back to Tommy Cash. And look, I'm more on this kind of music than what you can think anyway. So there is not only Tommy Cash. There might be someone else that right now I have just to remember, but I don't remember very, very well the names.
That's all good.
What was that? There was someone else as well, but I can't remember right now. But I still have them in your playlist? In my playlist, in my Spotify.
Yeah, you slowly get the Estonian music
there,
in as well.
Yeah, still there. Like every time they pop on the radio on my playlist, just turn up the volume.
Turn up the volume. Yeah. Right on. So you heard it here first. All Italians love Tommy Cash and are ready for Eurovision. Is Eurovision a big thing in Italy?
It's not from everyone. From everyone, but it's a big thing.
It's a big
probably
thing,
not big as in Estonia, but still.
Yeah. Estonia, it's weird as well. Eurovision, like everyone kind of watches it, but no one really watches it. Like you get together with friends, you know, you have a couple of drinks and it just kind of plays on the TV,
background.
and then you look, someone's getting points, and you know, so it's kind of just as a background thing, but you do kind of watch it as well. Yeah, I don't know. Eurovision is funny, and it's weird that we now live in Australia that is also in Eurovision. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's true. But it's anyway a gathering occasions for you, something that for us is not. I mean,
Yeah.
Eurovision is not something that you take as, oh, there is the Eurovision on
Yeah.
TV tonight, let's gather together and let's watch Eurovision, even if it's just as
It's
noise in background,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And if Tommy Cash is watching us, good job, mate. I hope you win.
Righto. So thank you again, Tiziano, for
Thank
coming. It was a blast. It was you're always such a positive person, and I reckon everyone who listened or watched today could feel your positive energy. And he's coming to Estonia in August. So if you want to get autographs or something, I'll tell you where to find.
I can cook some good pasta, but not make autographs.
Yeah. And if you have any recommendations on what he should see or eat or drink in Estonia while he's here, you can leave it down as the comments. Thank you so much for listening. As always, you can follow us on Instagram, Mitte podcast, on YouTube, Spotify, and on our Patreon page as well if you want to see the episodes a week early. Thank you so much for listening and watching. We'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.